You need to get your canning supplies right now. Hello everybody, my name is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and today I bought canning jars. Why in the world would I buy canning supplies in April? I haven't even planted most of the foods that I would be canning, such as beans or corn. And my tomatoes, they're still in the house about 2 inches tall. So why would I buy canning supplies now? I buy them because of supply and demand. Over the last 2 summers, it's been very difficult to find anything to do with canning. So we just don't know what this summer holds. I'm not willing to take the chance of not getting the supplies I need to can this summer. 3 years ago, I was hit by a powerful urge to start canning again. Now, you need to understand, I hadn't canned for over 10 years. I was living in the suburbs, I was teaching school, and I had not considered canning whatsoever. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake off that feeling that I needed to be doing more. I needed to raise more food, and I needed to preserve it. At that point, I had a very, very old water bath canner and an even older pressure canner from the early 1990s. That led me to do research on the new electric digital pressure canners. I purchased my first digital pressure canner 3 years ago, and I fell in love. It was so much easier than how I had canned in the past. So that summer I canned, and I was able to can some tomato sauce and some beans and some corn, and I just started to can a little bit. Then 2 years ago, everything changed, and suddenly I couldn't find canning jars. I couldn't find canning lids. I couldn't find anything I needed, and when I looked at the price of that canner, it had more than doubled. Tonight, I am not going to teach you how to can. Instead, I'm going to show you the things that you may want to start picking up while they are readily available. The most important thing you need for canning is a canner, and there are many options. There are pressure canners. There are electric pressure and water bath canners, and there are water bath canners. Every single one of them can safely can your food. It is simply a matter of knowing which one is best for you. Water bath canners are good for high acid foods like tomatoes and jellies and jams. Pressure canners are good for those foods that are low acid, such as green beans and corn. And my new electric canner can do both. It can do the pressure canning and the water bath. There are 2 downsides to the electric pressure canner. The first one is the cost. It is very expensive. But the second one is it doesn't can a lot at one time. If we are talking pints, you can do 7 to 8 pints. If you're talking quarts, only 4 to 5 at a time. And you cannot do boiling water canning in quarts. So keep that in mind when you're looking at which canner is going to suit your needs the best. Now, I stick with my canner because it is so easy. And in fact, I now have 2 of those. That second one, I was on a wait list for about 6 months. So you really need to start looking now, whatever canner you decide to go with. Next, you need canning jars. When you first buy a case of canning jars, they are going to come with the ring and the lids. These lids you can only use one time. The rings you can use over and over. So besides buying those, you're going to have to buy packs of lids. And these are the wide mouth lids, but you can also get those with the rings, and these are regular mouth. These go extremely fast in the stores. So anytime I go into a big box store or any store, I look to see if they have lids or jars, and I buy some. 3 tools that you're going to need for canning. The first one is an extra wide funnel that goes on top of your jars, And when you fill it with food, your food will stay in the jar and not drip on the outside. The next one is to stir in your jar. You're going to get the bubbles out, and then you can turn it over to measure how deep your food is. And the last one is a jar lifter. No matter what way or method you can, you are going to be pulling your jars out of some very hot water, and so that will lift it. I also have 2 ingredients that are very important when you're canning. One of them is salt and the other is lemon juice. And the same thing, whenever I'm in a store and I run to that aisle, I try to get another container just to have on hand. Here are a few things you might want to add to that list. They are not necessary, but they are helpful. One thing would be cheesecloth. I use this when I'm straining my berries to make some jams and jellies. I often use a thermometer. Cream of tartar I put in the bottom of my canner, and that keeps it nice and clean. You need tons of towels. Every time you take something out of the canner, it needs to cool on a towel. This is actually to lift lids. It's a little magnetic holder so that I can lift my lid up without touching it. You always can use some of this pectin if you are making jellies or jams. And then Mrs. Wages has an entire line of different sauces that you can use their powdered mix for. And of course, vinegar for anything that is pickled. So why do I need to get these things now? What is the urgency? It is called supply and demand. I have seen firsthand over the last couple years how all of these things that you're looking at right now are extremely difficult to find. So in April, I urge you to do these things. Research what kind of canner is best for your family and find a place that you can get it now while they are available. Each time you go to the store, grab 1 container of jars and 1 container of flat lids, and make sure you are well stocked on lemon juice and salt. If this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. And remember, you can't do everything overnight, but you can just do something. Have a great night. Bye-bye.